All right, in this video, we're talking about Dalen. Daniel's built one of the best founder-led personal brands. He's built a cult-like audience of hundreds of thousands of people, and he's able to make more than $1 million a month with his personal brand, all without ever selling to his audience. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jack. I help founders and entrepreneurs build premium personal brands. I built my own personal brand to almost 70,000 followers, and I've worked with hundreds of creators, founders, entrepreneurs, and business owners to scale their personal brand. So by the end of this video, my goal is for you to understand exactly how Dalen has built his personal brand and hopefully take actionable insights from the video that you can apply to your own personal brand today. So Daniel's brand is sort of a unique combination of the three main aspects of a founder-led personal brand, which is authenticity, authority, and aesthetics. So let's talk about authenticity first. So the key here is that all of Daniel's content, whether it's his long-form lifestyle YouTube videos or it's his short-form reels, it's all 100% authentic. It never feels like he's reading a script or trying to sell you on something. He's genuinely talking about his experiences building his business, his experiences as an entrepreneur, and what he's reflecting on as he goes through that journey. And so the result of that is his videos feel more like reflective journals as opposed to him preaching or trying to tell you what to do. So Daniel uses long form videos to really build trust and connection and authenticity with his viewers. And then he cuts those videos up, those long form videos, into short form reels where he primarily posts on Instagram as well as TikTok. And the goal of those videos is to really broaden his reach, is to get new eyeballs, new people seeing his content and joining his ecosystem, and then funneling them from Instagram to YouTube to build that deeper connection and trust with Daniel. Next, Daniel positions himself as an authority without really even trying. His authority is built through his lifestyle. You know, most online gurus, they flex their cars, watches, penthouses, private jets, whatever, to try to get you to buy something. Whereas Daniel never talks about how much he makes. He never really flexes the luxury items or the places he's staying. But we get a glimpse of them through his long form content primarily. And so this has the effect where he's basically showing that he's the authority as opposed to telling us. Another key point is that through his content, we see him leading. We see him actually being the authority, right? We see him traveling the world. We see him meeting with clients. We see him giving masterminds, and we see him leading his teams for his different businesses. This is the most powerful form of authority, as opposed to talking about what you do and the impact you have. We're seeing it in real time as he's documenting his life. And so in this way, his content really does that for him. It positions himself as the authority, positions himself as a leader in the space and someone who has the answers and is worth following, especially for younger entrepreneurs who are his ideal followers. And finally, Daniel's personal brand is extremely aesthetic and very high quality visually. His content, if you just watch a few videos, you'll be able to see it. It looks like it's out of a movie or like a documentary that he's the main character of. Whether that's the wide angle shots he has while he's traveling, the match cuts that he uses while he's at his office at work, the lights, the editing style, it all works together to package his story and his journey into content that feels premium and worth following, especially for those high-level entrepreneurs who he's targeting. His content is also very consistent, whether that's the colors, the fonts, the presets that he uses to edit his photos, the color grade he uses to edit his videos. It's all consistent. And that consistency and visual authority is one of the key reasons that he's blown up his account and done so well. It's because he's not only living the life that most entrepreneurs want to live, but he's really romanticizing the grind and making his work and his life look really cool, which is just another reason for people to follow along. And so the quality of his visuals elevate him even more in terms of status and authority, and makes his content one of one. When you see one of Daniel's videos, you know almost immediately that it's his. Even his profile picture doesn't even show his face. It's just his signature color of orange. And when you get to that level where you don't even need to be in the content for people to know it's you, that's really the ultimate level of visual authority and visual branding. I also want to talk about his use of symbols, whether that's the glasses that he wears, which he actually owns that brand, and so it's sort of free marketing and promotion, to the iconic shots of him holding a camera or mounting a camera to the ceiling, to his signature office setup. he uses recurring themes and symbols throughout his content to build that trust and authenticity with his followers, so that when you see a symbol, when you see a certain thing in one of his videos or even in someone else's videos, you instantly think of Daniel. And that's evident by all the people who, especially on YouTube, try to copy him, whether that's his POV thumbnail or actually the documenting lifestyle vlogs from his life. So many entrepreneurs have caught on and are copying Daniel, but at the end of the day, people can tell that they took that style from Daniel. And so that almost lends more credibility and more authenticity and more authority to Daniel, because he sort of started this movement and this trend with his long form content. And lastly, when you watch his content, every frame feels observational. It doesn't feel staged. It feels like we're sort of looking into his real life, his real day to day, and he's not doing anything different because we're watching. And I think that is really hard for most entrepreneurs creating content, right? You feel this pressure to perform on camera or to look a certain way or to, speak a certain way, or to only show the highlight reel of your life and not the losses and the things you're learning along the way. But that's really the key differentiator of Daniel to sort of the average entrepreneur creating content, is he's willing to be vulnerable and he's willing to be himself no matter what. So that brings us to the question, how does Daniel actually make money from his personal brand? It's different from almost all other online gurus, because he never sells you anything. He never says, buy my product or buy my course to, be an entrepreneur or learn what I know. He simply creates content. And in terms of his glasses brand, he wears his glasses. People see that. People love Daniel and they want to be part of what he's building in his journey. So they naturally buy. He doesn't need to sort of have any call to actions. And then for his B2B business, which is called Ecom Flow, by creating his content and building his audience, he's just naturally attracts these high-level entrepreneurs and potential business partners who see his content, are curious about, what he does and what he's building, and then go to sort of the link in his bio and see that he has this business and are naturally curious to learn more. And because they have this affinity to Daniel already, they want to work with him. And that goes the same for talent acquisition. Daniel's been known to hire people for his business or for some of his partners' business right out of his Instagram audience. And so he naturally attracts these high-level operators, growth operators, creative directors, all these different guys who then he can use and leverage in his own brand, or he can refer to his partners and clients to work in their brands. And so his content does the selling for him. He sells his lifestyle and character first, and then basically the content quietly invites you to learn more and work with him without Daniel ever having to put out a call to action or telling you to buy one of his products or service. So I hope you gained value from this video. I hope that you've taken away a few things that you can apply to your own personal brand. If you want to work with me one-on-one to help scale your personal brand like Daniel's, click the first link in the description. There'll be more information about how we can work together. And if it's a good fit, I'd love to chat with you. Other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.